Alrighty, Michelle, it has been lovely chatting with you this afternoon. We got to touch base as far as the job, the duties it entails, as it was a little bit about your professional experience. But if you wouldn't mind, tell me a bit more details when it comes to your professional experience, if you wouldn't mind.
As far as I'm going to tell you a little bit on how I deal with professionalism when
Absolutely.
it comes to myself. I'm a hardworking individual who isn't afraid to face any challenges. I'm passionate about the work I do and how I get the job done. That's so much, very much important for me. Um, I'm honest. I think when it comes to professionalism and work, being honest and relaying and not misleading, um, it's it's my daily goals every day. So that's my professionalism as far as workplace.
Absolutely. And I thank you for touching base on that. And that's something that, especially in the company you're going to work with, I think that holds a lot of value with any company that you go for. They seek for someone who has those traits and those skills.
Right.
So speaking about your work experience, you previously worked as a city clerk for the United States Post Office. You worked in billing and credentialing specialist for a physical therapist office, a medical biller. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about, I would say more about your billing experience, credentialing. I know we said you have those transferable skills when it comes to this purchasing order. So tell me a little bit about that.
Um, when I was in direct, I'm going to start with direct physical therapy. I was the billing specialist, but I did more than that. I did credentialing, I did billing, I did advertisements. I did work with numbers on patients and how to pretty much do a scale of things of how to grow our patients and as far as contracts and stuff like that. So I worked on the contract side, sometimes with clients, and then as well as the marketing. Definitely fast paced pressure and decision making abilities when it came to that. We had deadlines, especially for billing. We have a certain amount of time that I have to work and act fast on pretty much on the billing side because you can't just delay on claims. And that's how the back end, it's harder, being the face of the company, being the back end is also, it's a little bit of, through the backside. But I did a little bit of everything as well as the post office. I wasn't, I wasn't just a city clerk. I was actually chose out of 150 employees. I was actually the only one who did driving, delivering mail, opening, closing, management stuff, closing shifts, opening, um, pretty much doing also reports, filling reports of the day. So I didn't do just one job. Again, when it comes to big corporate companies, there was grievances filed, but I was the only one. And now that I look back, I was the only one who, because I had such a great workspace, I was the only one that no one ever filed a grievance on because I was always helping someone. But that's exactly, I never did just one role. I did a little bit of everything.
That sounds amazing. And it speaks for itself at the fact that you were chosen out of 150 other employees to tend to those duties.
Yeah,
So that in itself speaks
I would
wonders
go
about
back in a heartbeat, but because, you know, with it's not easy to go back to a big organization versus a small business.
that's right.
I tend to always leave great positive attitude and also when it comes to me, my work, I like to build family relationships as well, but also in a professional manner.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that completely. So going back to your experience when it comes to, I know you mentioned inventory was that we spoke about briefly.
Mhm.
The inventory management, purchasing order. So tell me a little bit about that experience.
Um, Purchasing, as far as when I was in direct physical therapy, I was purchasing products, medical equipment through third parties, making sure that I was always ahead of the orders as far as pretty much not making, we don't want to, it's a medical office, right? So we would have to be on top of what items and we have by communicating with the physical therapist and purchasing as far as obviously and getting an approval on how much I can spend with the company's credit card. I did keep track of it. That was something daily I did keep track. I didn't go every other day, daily, because I want to make sure that I was on top of everything I needed that was needed from me for the therapist.
Absolutely. And were you using any system in particular to purchase any orders at all?
It's a small business, so we were just using, honestly, we were just ordering from Amazon. It was a small business. It was
Gotcha.
a specific company. We were doing it through nothing. It was through Amazon, little basic stuff as far
Okay.
as Walmart, Target, wherever we can get our hands on.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds amazing. Now, going back to the system questions, what are some other systems that you have utilized, whether it's, Google system, Outlook, or Excel? Tell me a little bit about
Worksheet, Excel, Salesforce. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes.
You had Cerna. I've used, what else? I can't remember now but
Yeah.
use pretty much obviously Excel and Word, PDFs, all that I've had. But as far as medical, it's Cerna that I used.
Perfect. Okay. So that's more than medical
Salesforce
itself.
I did use at the post office when I needed to pull the reports and also communicate with the customers and management. So we would have to open our cases and close them, obviously, once we closed them. But I did work in Salesforce a lot with the postal office.
Awesome. Okay, that sounds perfect. All righty. So, Michelle, tell me, what skills do you have that makes you stand out compared to other candidates?
I do have a unique combination of experiences when it comes to, I would say, customers. Remaining calm. You're not always going to please everyone, or you're going to have angry customers. You're going to have even employees. You're going to work with different personalities, right? I think the most important is remaining calm, acknowledging the customer and acknowledging my limitations, right? Because I can help a customer, but sometimes I'm limited, right? So acknowledging my limitations is very important for me. Finding an answer by setting and setting expectations and providing a timeline to follow up. Those are very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was very well said, Michelle. And I appreciate all the details that you provided me, as well as providing me details about your professional background. It was truly a pleasure getting to know your professional experience a bit further. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video interview, but don't hang up on me quite yet. I will continue chatting with you.
Okay.